What up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the one and only, the incomparable, the undefeatable Cuban Linx podcast. Today is a bit of a special episode. This is gonna be me on my dolly. You know what I'm saying? You see the window on the side. I'm a little smaller because I had to keep my window on the side real quick. This is my first time actually hosting, so a lot of this stuff is gonna be very much seat in my pants, doing what I can. Well, we're about to talk about it real quick. This is the first episode of Juice Spills, a Cuban Linx production. Pretty much in this series, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through top 10 lists that have been made, and I'm going to talk about how I feel about it. Let's see. Oh, we got our first comment. Shout out to Elements. Love, you know what it is. Alright, so I'm about to do this list real quick. It's gonna be a nice we're gonna work the list. I'm using IGN because they have a lot of very detailed lists of things. And I will then rearrange the list to what I feel should be in the top 10, because I feel like a lot of times with major gaming companies, like a lot of these lists are passion-based, but even in passion, a lot of times some games that deserve more love than that love. So I'm trying to change it up, baby. Let's go. So first game on the list at number 10 is Assassin's Creed Revelation. Off top, the first major violation is the fact that Assassin's Creed Revelation, a member of the Ezio trio, is at the bottom of the list. I'm sorry, I can't have it. Assassin's Creed Revelation, for those that don't know, is the final game in the Ezio trilogy. This is when Ezio matures into the assassin that he's supposed to be. Assassin's Creed 2, he starts off, he becomes an assassin. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, that's when he starts to establish the assassin brotherhood as a whole in Europe. But then Assassin's Creed Revelations is when Ezio's like, I'm a master assassin, I'm an OG, I'm going to put self-ass across the Byzantine Empire. He does exactly that. And so the reason why I feel like 10 should be Assassin's Creed Revelations is because this Assassin's Creed, it had too much. This Assassin's Creed had Ezio in his prime, and Ezio is arguably one of the best assassins in the series. I feel like he's great, and second place has to be Altair, but I feel like other people really like anyway, and we just been around this list, I believe, like 5 years on this. I didn't really learn beforehand. And so what makes Assassin's Creed Revelations great is that it wraps up Altair's story as well as Ezio. And it also has then defense mode, which is really interesting because I feel like Ezio's games are where Ubisoft got to really like the creative muscles, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Assassin's Creed 2 also had some of the first multiplayer that we saw with the different classes and things of that nature, and those classes were very well designed. I remember I was a huge fan of the Harlequin class, because you could discover some of the other classes, like tactical sniping. I feel like because of the creativity that Ezio's trilogy gave to the entirety of the Assassin's Creed franchise, to put Revelation, the peak of Ezio's trilogy, at number 10, I feel like that's disrespectful. We're gonna hold on to Ezio's to Assassin's Creed Revelation, and we're gonna see where else we can put it. Let me just add that to my numbers. What am I doing? I'm gonna just copy and paste. Alright. Alright. Next on the list, we have Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Now, I will admit, Assassin's Creed Syndicate had a lot to offer outside of the Assassin's Creed gameplay with its gang warfare mechanic as well as starting the whole. Well, not starting because Black Flag has been only after this, but with Assassin's Creed Syndicate, it really emphasized the importance of like street justice, and also it was one of the first Assassin's Creed games you could play as multiple characters. And I think that was fun. Especially, I played mostly Jacob because I like to put hands on him. Honestly, like Jacob had the greatest combos. He had the knuckles, the knives, and all. He really put it on it, right? And he was definitely the character you play if you want to actually authentic Assassin's Creed. I think they took that mechanic and they really carried it on to games like Assassin's Creed Shadows, where Asuka is something play where you want to really get into it and fight people, but then Naue is who you play when you want the actual Assassin's Creed games. Naue ain't got hands like that, so you gotta catch him lacking, or else you're done for. Also, we got one viewer. Shouts out! Thank you for joining the Twitch. Whoever joined, and let me continue on. So the Assassin's Creed games are often defined by their locations as they are their protagonists. And this is very true in the case of Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Because the 19th century Victorian London was amazing, especially with the Jack the Ripper DLC. I really thought that Assassin's Creed Syndicate was very much a period piece, where if you didn't know how gritty and grimy the 19th century Victorian London got, this was the game for you to find out. Now, it wasn't sweet. This is the peak of the plague. Jack the Ripper putting belt to ass all over London. It was very much you had to be there moment. And I think that Assassin's Creed Syndicate really captures that well. Now, as much as I give love to this, I have to say that story-wise, besides Jacob even becoming Master Assassin, I gotta say that the side stories really weren't cooking for me. For that reason, I feel like 9 is the same place to put Assassin's Creed Syndicate, because as much as it was successful, it could have done more. Hang on, I'm back. Yeah, thank you for that. Let me check. All right, how's that? Is that better? Can you hear me better? My bad about that. Hopefully, most of what I said wasn't lost, because that's crazy. Yeah, so how do I sound now? Oh, thank God. Okay, my bad. Cool. Thank you so much, God King Lock, for that. You know what I'm saying? This is my first time flying solo. So, young nigga trying to do what a young nigga gotta do. And if you got any opinions about my list so far, I already went over Assassin's Creed Revelations, and I just finished talking about Assassin's Creed Syndicate. So if you feel like any of those two should be ranked higher or lower on the list, let me know. It's top 10 list. I feel like Assassin's Creed Revelation should be ranked higher because of its impact on the overall series as a part of the Ezio's trilogy. And then I feel that Assassin's Creed Syndicate is good at number 9. But moving onwards, we're going on to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Now, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, this game right here, here's how I feel about this game. I'll admit, I haven't played much of Valhalla, so I can only go off of what I've seen, but I have to say the fact that they gave us a character that started off I'm going to put it. The fact that they gave us a character, Solo Dolo Yellow, yeah. But the fact that they gave us a character where he had hands, he just wasn't an assassin. I feel like that was super refreshing as a series, because a lot of times we either get our hands on a master assassin and then we have to learn what makes them a master assassin, or we get our hands on someone fresh off the street and make them a master assassin. But the fact that we have someone who's a seasoned warrior who then learns more about the No, for sure, it does take away from the title. It does, because with our Viking main character not being an assassin, I feel like it's very much like it should have been like Vikings Creed, right? It should have been like War of the Vikings. But I do like the fact that they use the animus and all those relics of power to explain Norse mythology, like the fact like Yggdrasil being like this like big machine that like resurrects people is crazy interesting. I thought that was super fun to find out. I know about this stuff because I also play Magic the Gathering, and there are Magic the Gathering cards that have Assassin's Creed Valhalla items in it, like Yggdrasil and things of that nature. Let's see. I do like as the description says, weightier combat does matter. But for a game like Assassin's Creed, where you're knocking folks off while they don't know it, weightier combat, while it's fun, isn't exactly like as an assassin, combat isn't your specialty. It's getting someone knocked off and moving on. But I do have to admit, because of the emphasis on combat, I feel like it was a more welcoming. Oh yeah, no, that's fair. Me too. I haven't played through all of Valhalla as well, and I think the biggest thing is that the combat being so heavy makes it not Assassin's Creed. I use heavy quotations on that because Assassin's Creed is Assassin's Creed as long as someone's getting paid to make it. But I feel like the combat heaviness definitely helps people get introduced to the game more, because a lot of times people aren't playing stealth games like that, and stealth games aren't hitting top 10 lists unless they are like cult classics like, say, Metal Gear Solid and things of that nature. So for a supposed stealth series like Assassin's Creed to do so well, I think that adding better combat was essential to getting newer fans in on an already thriving series. So I want to give Valhalla its grace. Yeah, more heavy with the Viking raids and such. And I think I want to give Valhalla its grace because Valhalla as a game, like, we needed that refreshing combat, because there are so many situations in Assassin's Creed when I play that, like, I feel like my assassin should be able to win a 1v5 given like cutscenes and an established expertise. So I will admit that Assassin's Creed Valhalla really does a good job of giving us those more realistic fight situations, at least in my opinion. All right, and then I'm just gonna add Valhalla to the list so that way I can rearrange it once the time comes. Oh, no, not paste. Copy. And there we go. Valhalla. I feel like Valhalla should be moved up higher, honestly, because Valhalla, once again, like, Valhalla is a door opener. It's a door opening game. It gets people into the series, and it's like, oh, this game was good. How does the rest reflect on that? You know what I'm saying? So I want to give Valhalla its flowers for that. Shout out Eivor for all he does. Now, number seven, I think we can all agree, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood should be higher and will be higher. Like, for once again, it's a member of the Ezio trilogy, and I definitely belong to the class of Assassin's Creed fans to where the Ezio trilogy is what cemented Assassin's Creed as a household name. Like, Altair was cool and all for what he was, but Ezio was the everyman's assassin. Ezio was charming. He had the ladies, bro had that moral grayness to him, to where he wanted to do what was right, but he wasn't lawfully good. He was chaotic good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, like, wait, so were you introduced to Assassin's Creed with Brotherhood? Because if so, that's amazing. I feel like Brotherhood deserves a lot more of its props, because like I said, as like the Ezio trilogy in general is what put Assassin's Creed on the map. I will stand by that. I will live by that, and I will die by that, because you've got Assassin's Creed 2 introducing people to Ezio. You got Assassin's Creed Brotherhood building on the world that we already had and adding and giving us like added tools for assassinations like gunplay. We got different guilds we can use to help get our targets. And then we have Revelations that takes the game and like gives us so much control. And I feel like the Ezio trilogy also does a good job of saying, like, if we, the player, are supposed to be controlling whoever's in the Animus, what better way to show the player's growth than by giving us more access to the intricacies of assassinations, like going from you get your Assassin's Blade to now you can choose what kind of Assassin's Blade to now you can choose who builds your Assassin's Blade. And I think that's an important aspect of Assassin's Creed, that immersion that is very much necessary. And so I feel like that's why the Ezio trilogy has to be like if it's not 1, 2, 3, they can't leave top 5. They can never leave top 5. If they do, something's wrong. And with Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, this is a game that continues Ezio's story, and not only does it give us more diverse locations, it also gives us such an amazing countryside. We've got property management, recruitable allies, and Ezio's story is a story that pulls people in because it's no longer, I'm Master Assassin and I can't have any personality because I'm Master Assassin. It's, not only am I one of the best assassins who ever lived, I also got swag. I'm also cool. I'm also a people person, right? And I think that's why Ezio is such a breath of fresh air in the game. I know it sounds like I'm just like glazing Ezio, but like when you do what Ezio does, ain't no choice but to show that man love. You know what I'm saying? And so in that case, I think that Assassin's Creed Brotherhood definitely deserves a higher ranking on the list for sure. Like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed 2, and Assassin's Creed Revelation easily are going to be in the top 5. And if anyone has any good arguments, they better come with it, cause my goat Ezio, we don't play about him. We don't play about my goat Ezio. Next on this series is Assassin's Creed We Was Kang's edition. I'm kidding, Assassin's Creed Origins. Now for Assassin's Creed Origins, I'll admit, if the Ezio trilogy belongs in the top 5, Assassin's Creed Origins is a great like borderline for what the other games have to be. Like Assassin's Creed Origins gave us so many tools, especially with Eagle Vision being through an actual eagle, like he just had on deck. He just be like, eagle, watch the ops for me. And you could just, like you had a living, breathing drone on you. I think that alone, along with how it like tied in mythology in a very tasteful way. It wasn't like, Brotherhood should be high. I'll fight all day for Brotherhood, bro. You know I got it. But like with the way Assassin's Creed Origins very much like tied in mythology in a very like tasteful way, to where it wasn't like, I'm fighting the Pharaoh, but now the Pharaoh is actually Anubis, and Anubis and his brothers are now taking over the world. It was very much like, it's this, and this turns to that, and all this stuff is unexplained. And then from there, they add the mythology as it's needed to fill in the gaps in story. So like it's like, how all these people dying? Anubis still exists and he's wreaking havoc. Or maybe you talk to Set and other different gods in the Egyptian pantheon, and because of that, I feel like Assassin's Creed Origins definitely, it should be a benchmark for how all the Assassin's Creed games should be, because it's an Assassin's Creed game that puts you right in the perspective that you needed to be, to where you're operating a Master Assassin. The Master Assassin has personality, and the Master Assassin has enough tools to keep you entertained, and make you feel like you're really growing as an assassin, even if you're just holding the controller. And so in that case, Assassin's Creed Origins is actually perfect exactly where it is, due to how it is. I feel like it's a very much one of the better marriages between like reality and mythology in the Assassin's Creed series. Because with Valhalla, I think the biggest thing is that Norse mythology had to be pushed in, because without it, like a lot of the game wouldn't have been palatable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. See, like even the fact that the Eagle Vision from Origins is reincorporated into Valhalla just goes to show that like that was the way to go. That was the way to go for like, oh, I don't have Eagle Vision in myself yet, but I can put it through an animal, and it really then just says. It really then just feeds into how much control that assassin has of their environment. To where it's like, oh yeah, I don't even gotta look, I don't even gotta walk you down. I let my pet eagle do it for me. You know what I'm saying? That's tough. Like that is tough. And in this case, I do like the fact that this is the Origins is for one like the beginning, so to speak. But it's also very much the beginning of Assassin's Creed transition from stealth to an open world RPG. So like there is stealth in this action adventure, but it's very much now you get to travel the world, you get to see things. And for a game in which the premise is like, in which a part of the premise is like immersion through like the animus and things of that nature, to have Assassin's Creed shift from stealth to open world, it's a very reasonable leap, due to the fact that now instead of being like, oh, I gotta go hit Brody up over there and now it's like, hey, this is the world I encompass. How much of this world can I use to my advantage to get stuff done? Instead of being like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly that. Valhalla is Origins, but with more Vikings and more fighting. Or if anything, Valhalla is Origins, but white. If we want to keep it funky. Shout out to my white people though. We got someone else in here. Shouts out to whoever jumped in. You know what I mean? If you're a lurker, stay lurking. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it 5 mil. You know, so let's keep it 5 milli, right? Next in the series is speaking of Assassin's Creed but white, Assassin's Creed Unity. Now, as someone with a background in French history, being that I'm Haitian, so my people know exactly how the French get down, and then also through like going to school and learning about French history and things of that nature, Assassin's Creed Unity, I'll admit, is an Assassin's Creed game that is great for learning about the French Revolution in its minutia. So like understanding why it was a revolution and things of that nature, I would highly recommend Assassin's Creed Unity. Like, am I saying it's going to be completely accurate? Of course not. Like, there wasn't a chapter in my history book about King Louis like getting a piece of alien technology and using it to dominate the world. But you never played or heard of this? I actually have played it, and I can tell you what hyped me up about Unity was that this is an Assassin's Creed Unity that marketed itself based off of its multiplayer. So like you could have your homies pull up like in a mission, and y'all could just like smoke shit. Y'all could just like really catch a soldier like and just get at. And with Assassin's Creed Unity, like the story was fun. Like the story was interesting. Once again, it was very much like if you haven't heard of French history and you needed like a nice cliff notes on it, Assassin's Creed Unity gives you a lot of important details, like about like the prisons that were used to hold rebels, how the French Revolution started, how the French Revolution progressed. Like you want to talk about a real open world game, this is it, bro. Very similar to GTA. Like, the only issue is that with Unity, like, Unity's got to go further down on the list, because I ain't gonna lie, Unity being top 5 after it got released with so many bugs, I don't know. But yeah, one of the biggest things to Unity's credit, like one of the biggest bouquets of flowers that you could give Unity, is that Unity was a game where like the world was a near accurate one-to-one recreation of Paris. So like when you climb the Eiffel Tower, you're climbing the real deal Eiffel Tower. When you're at l'Arc de Triomphe, you're pretty much seeing that legit l'Arc de Triomphe at the time the game was released, and things of that nature. And I think as much as Unity's gameplay was missing a lot. Like Unity's gameplay needed a lot more. I have to keep it all the way a beam and say that Unity's accuracy of France, I'm talking old school France, like we off with his head guillotine France, bar none, one of the best depictions of a real life era in gaming, for sure. Like you're not like GTA, like I'll put it to you like this. Assassin's Creed Unity set the bar for GTA games to bring that realty. You know what I'm saying? To bring that realness, to bring that like one-to-one accuracy damn near. And I think that Unity definitely deserves its flowers for that. And because of that, I'm willing to put Unity at like number 7 when I remake the list. Because Unity's contribution, yeah, and I think at 6 that's fair as well. The only reason why I wouldn't put it at 6 is because like Unity started it for sure. Like Unity started like the emphasis on accuracy, but like a game like Assassin's Creed Origins took that need, fulfilled it, and then some. And I think because of that, I still think Origins should set that bar at 6, while Assassin's Creed Unity should be at 7, because it paved the way for sure. And it paved the way for sure, but it's just like it paved the way, but also it got paved over by Origins, if we're being familiar. Origins at 5? You know what? If that's the case, I can agree. I can agree wholeheartedly. As long as Origins is directly above Unity, because Unity isn't bad. Unity is not a bad game. But Unity is definitely a game that started something but never finished because of the glitches and the bugs that happened beforehand. But also another point for Unity is that like Unity really said, hey, y'all want some real deal parkour and not just like clipping through objects. We got parkour niggas from France jumping over these walls doing motion capture for y'all. Also, don't forget, Assassin's Creed Unity was one of the first games you could like run through houses and use that to your advantage while you're escaping folks. I have to say that like when it comes to a movement heavy Assassin's Creed game, Unity tops a lot of the series. Like when it comes to movement in an Assassin's Creed game, Unity is up there, like for sure. And that's why I love Unity even with its flaws. So I can definitely agree on it being at 6. Let me just copy it and we'll remake the list once we are done. All right. Oh yeah, Unity. Perfect. All right. Next on the list, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, Assassin's Creed Shadows at 4? I can agree with this. I can agree with Assassin's Creed Shadows being at 4, specifically because Assassin's Creed Shadows, I feel like not even because of the controversy or because of identity politics, but because of how well that game was made. Like Assassin's Creed Shadows took the accuracy of Unity it has the combat of Valhalla, and then it also maintains like the stealthiness of the original series through Naoe, and the combat through Yasuke. And I think because of that, Assassin's Creed Shadows is very much like the amalgamation or the aggregate for my programming niggas. It's the aggregate of all of the efforts of previous Assassin's Creed games, where like you get, and then even like the open world navigation of 4. I feel that Assassin's Creed Shadows encapsulates all that perfectly. And because of that, I feel like Assassin's Creed 4 deserves a spot at number 4. And the top 3 spots, I would leave specifically to the Ezio trilogy. Let me see. Oh, we're back down to 1. Let me see. And then also what I love most about Assassin's Creed is the fact that Assassin's Creed definitely... Oh, really? Yo! If anything, I actually been playing a bit of Assassin's Creed Shadows. I do... Oh, also another thing about Assassin's Creed Shadows that puts it easily at number 4 is the fact that like the kill list for that game, it's wonderful because it's very much like they don't put you right at where you need to be. You gotta find everything. Like you could be in the same town as your target, but if you don't use like your observation mode to look for like that specific blue dot, you'll never find your target. And I feel like that is amazing in Assassin's Creed series, because to have a game where you're actively like searching for your target, you're sending scouts out, you're making resources, and you're building up like headquarters and things all around the world to like build your network of assassins. I think in that case alone, like Assassin's Creed Shadows does a beautiful job with that. Oh, then also, like I said, like just the accuracy and the land design, like to the point where like you can't even like in the game, you literally can't climb up gates out of respect for Japanese culture. And I think that's beautiful. Like a game that programs in like mindfulness, I feel like that's essential in the gaming community, because for a lot of people who end up existing on like the fringe of society, right? Because a lot of gamers are for some reason or another othered because of their hobbies, or end up being othered because of their hobbies. They end up feeling like they don't have to follow society's rules since they're never put in society. And I think having games that establish that there are still rules and consequences for what you do is paramount, especially given this political climate and things of that nature. So I definitely give Assassin's Creed Shadows its props for that. And it definitely will keep its number 4 position in my opinion. Now, Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. If Origins is going to be 5, Valhalla's got to be 6, and Odyssey has to be 7, because Odyssey focuses a lot on the fantasy side of things with the incorporation of like the Greek gods and things of that nature. I also like how this is the first game where you get to play as a woman. And then besides that, like they very much emphasize the role-playing parts of this game with all the choices you get to make, the romancing you get to do. You can be a guy, romance a guy, you can be a girl, romance a girl, you can be a girl, romance a guy, romance a girl. You can do whatever you want, really. And I think that's beautiful. I think the freedom that's allotted in Assassin's Creed Odyssey is beautiful. It's lovely in that aspect. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, takes Origins combat style, new focus on role playing. Yep. And then also I do enjoy the large scale battle aspect of this game, to where like you're pretty much like you're leading your troops in the battle, and I think in that case, once again, like these games with the immersion aspect, they really shine, because it's very much like, what better way to experience a game than to feel like you're like actually a part of it, right? And so I think Assassin's Creed. Oh wait, and apparently they had a twist on their notoriety system too. Okay, see, I like that. Sounds good. I'll see you do your thing. This is a strong push for number 7 on the list. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. All right, next, after Assassin's Creed Odyssey, honestly, Assassin's Creed 2 is perfect at number 2. Now, what can I say about Assassin's Creed 2? One of the first Assassin's Creed games where you get to customize your outfit, double assassinations, air assassinations. One of the first Assassin's Creed games where you get to up the blick on someone, customizable armor sets, the hidden dungeons for after you beat the main game. Like, Assassin's Creed 2 is great at 2 because I feel that Assassin's Creed Revelations is the pinnacle of the Ezio trilogy. So I feel like Revelations should take number 1, and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood can take number 3. I think that in that case, like, Assassin's Creed 2 is an artwork, and is an artwork that, like, when I talk about like setting the scene for this, like I said, the Ezio trilogy set the pace for the rest of the Assassin's Creed universe, hands down. Hand on a copy of the 36 Chambers by Wu-Tang Clan. Like, when I tell you that without the Ezio trilogy, Assassin's Creed would have been bland and dry. The Ezio trilogy is what really emphasized the historical accuracy, the one-to-one replication of environments, the story, like having an assassin that isn't just gloom and doom, but is funny and charming and witty and all these other things. Assassin's Creed 2 is a game that opened the door for possibilities for the assassins to be people rather than just assassins. And so Assassin's Creed 2 stays at 2 for sure. Now, for number 1 to be Assassin's Creed Black Flag, here's how I feel about this. Number 1, no. But should it break top 5? Yes, for sure. Assassin's Creed 4 definitely deserves top 5 status, because when you talk about an open world Assassin's Creed, after 2, it's gotta be 4. Like, first game to really like introduce and like expand upon the ship mechanic and being a merchant, the variety of places you go to on land and sea, all the islands, all the treasure. It was very much like you were a pirate. You were a pirate through and through. You had treasure, you had a crew, you had funds. Ship games, and those games were like old school. Like, it was very much like these were games that like pirates were playing back in the day. So like I highly commend Assassin's Creed 4 to be number 4 on the list for sure. Because without Assassin's Creed 4, we wouldn't have had that open world gameplay that we needed. Like, Assassin's Creed 4 made it possible for games to be as open world as they are in the Assassin's Creed series. And now, what I'm going to do is I am going to put these. I mean, honestly, Yeah, I'm just going to make the list right now as we speak, live in concert. Let's go. Also, let it be known that the Ezio trilogy was so good that the entire Ezio trilogy was on this list. Like, the entire Ezio trilogy made it to the top 10 because Ezio is, by all means, the best assassin in the Assassin's Creed series. Let me get this started. Let me see. Relations, Syndicate, Valhalla, Brotherhood, Origins. Unity. Shadows. Also, Assassin's Creed 2. There we go. All right, perfect. So we got Assassin's Creed Revelations. All right, so then now to rearrange everything. Let me just make. That's 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. All right. So now, in this case, what I'm doing now is I'm going to use the tier list to make my top 10, and then I'll put the Assassin's Creed titles in there, and then I'll show you the audience. So you get to sit here and watch me make an amazing list. Let's go.
All right. Next, let me grab all these images. All right. It's just a nice little intermission while I get this tier list ready, because we're making it live, baby. Thank you for your patience. Will I really make this? Especially that I'm just doing this for education. Hey. Oh, freestyle. Let's see. Perfect. Let's see. See, all right, there we go. Now to make the template. And open. Perfect. All right. Now that we have all this together, it's time to go from 10 to 1. Now, sitting at number 10 is going to be putting something at 10 is crazy. Well, I do know that we're going to put, starting from 1 to 3, it's going to be Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. No, sorry, we're putting, no, it should be Revelations, not bad. That's the wrong order. So it's going to be Revelations. It's going to be Revelations. Then it is going to be Assassin's Creed 2. And then Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Then for 5, we said Origins. And after Origins, I said after Origins, it would be Valhalla. After Valhalla, Odyssey. Black Flag, we're keeping at 3. No, Black Flag we're keeping at. That's Syndicate. Let's go down. Black Flag. Black Flag, we're keeping at 4. Ooh, hang on. Unity. Okay, hang on. Something got to change. Unity's got to be up there. Black Flag here. Ooh. Let's here and there. And really. No. Because yeah, Shadows is easily top 5. So yep. Here's the order. From number 1 to 2, Assassin's Creed Revelations, Assassin's Creed 2, then Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, then Assassin's Creed Black Flag. The Black Flag, Shadows, after Shadows, Origins, Valhalla. Hang on. Yeah, after. There you go. After Valhalla, Odyssey, after Odyssey, Syndicate, and after Syndicate, Unity. Valhalla at 7 behind Unity. So you think Unity should be number 6? That's a tough one. The Unity should be behind 6. Unity should be above. Valhalla at number 7. I'm gonna need you to convince me, bro. Cause so you're saying to put. So are you saying to put Origins at 10? Cause so I remember you were saying to put Origins at 5. You saying Unity should be here. Because no, you're not. Origins at 5. Are you saying Shadows is 10? Unity at 6. Okay. Valhalla at 7. Because I'll be honest, if you end up putting Odyssey or Syndicate at 10, I can agree. They're interchangeable at the bottom. Now, for Shadows to be this low, like I can say this much: Shadows one of the ones. Like, if we're putting Unity at number 6 because of its like faithfulness to realism, like Shadows is an amalgamation of everything that was missing in the rest of the games. Like, since you're not familiar with Shadows, You know what? Because there's some bangers on here, here's the only change I'm gonna make. Because Shadows, if it ain't top 5, it's gotta be right next. Because Shadows literally fixes all the mistakes of the other Assassin's Creed games. So that's the reason why I can't just leave my dog with Shadows at anything lower than, you know what I'm saying? So if you can't rank it, that's fair. That's very fair. But I can tell you from what I've played so far. Yeah, you see, now we're getting somewhere. Because in that case, because Shadows is easily 4. And in that case, I can get jiggy with this because these top 5 games are what defined the Assassin's Creed series. The other 6 are responses to that definition. So I can agree with this wholeheartedly. Let's be honest, because the first 3 games on the list, Assassin's Creed Revelations, 2, and Brotherhood, those 3 games set the genre. The 2 games that responded best to what the genre had to offer was Shadows and Black Flag. Hands down, 2 of the most iconic games that responded to whatever Assassin's Creed, what the FTO trilogy had. After that, every other game has gotten at least as close to the benchmark set by 4, with Assassin's Creed Origins doing the best job. Then after Assassin's Creed Origins, Valhalla, because it literally takes elements from Origins to make it what it is. And then Assassin's Creed Unity, without Unity, we wouldn't have the accuracy, the detail that we would on our backgrounds. And then from there, Syndicate feeds off of Unity's accuracy. Odyssey feeds off of Valhalla's interpretation of history. And so in that case, I can get jiggy with this list. I like this list. This list is 5. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna download this image, and then I'm gonna get this bad boy ready. Then I'm gonna get this bad boy ready so that I can make a little tweet or make a little Instagram reel about this, and I'm gonna see what people think about it. But if anything, let me see. Oh yeah. Honestly, that's all I had for this episode because I didn't think I'd be able to get so in depth with this list. And that's fair. No, that's fair. That's real talk. Honestly, Origins deserves its props for sure because it started the great shift of Assassin's Creed games from stealth to RPG. So that is fair. That's very fair. That's why Assassin's Creed Origins is easily number 6. For sure. It's easily it has to start. It starts off the latter half of the list. But if anything, thank you guys so much for rocking with me. This has really been my first episode doing a solo, and I was really scared at first. I was nervous and I was overthinking it all. But of course, I got shout out to my fans. Shouts out to y'all. Thank you for showing me love on this. And if anything, we will be back with a fresh episode with the 2 of us, and might just be Jeopardy. Could be Jeopardy. I was cooking up some new Jeopardy, so who knows? But without further ado, thank y'all so much. This is the Cuban Linx podcast, and we out. Peace, love, and free Palestine, bitches.